Hi, welcome back. Mm, let's continue the topic. Another uh, factor to decide the intense of the color is charge transfer. Charge transfer is nothing but in some complexes like we have liquid Cr2O72 minus, where the chromium has G0 electrons, no transition, but it exhibits colors due to charge transfer. Another example is Mn2O7 minus, no, MnO4, like where D0 configuration is exhibited, but transitions are no transitions, but color exhibited. That is only due to the charge transfer. There are two types of charge transfer. One is ligand to metal charge transfer, metal to ligand charge transfer. Here the factors are listed. You can go through it once you can understand. Mainly, you have to remember the examples for the charge transfer. One is MnO4 minus and CrO4 2 minus, and some of the complexes where D0 exhibited. That is to remember. And another one, this is the table summing up all the conditions. There is one formula called A for observance is equal to log to the base 10 I naught by I. Here, I naught is the incident intensity, I is the transmitted intensity, E is the some constant, C is the concentration, L is the path length. It is important to remember these formula asked for calculate observance by giving I naught and IR into concentration of path. Spin forbidden, Laporte forbidden. The E value will be less than 1, less intense, pale colors, right? And then another one is spin allowed, Laporte forbidden. One is allowed, Laporte forbidden. The E value between the 1 to 100 and somewhat better than pale. And another one is spin allowed, Laporte allowed, both allowed, high intensity. 10 to 1000 E value lies between. Intensity is directly proportional to E value. So for less than intense colors, charge transfer is the highest intense color. Questions will be asked like which complex has the highest intense color by first clarifying the selection rules and then checking there whether it is a charge transfer mechanism. Charge transfer, it could be the high intense color. Then spin allowed, Laporte allowed. One is allowed, one is forward, both forbidden. Here some of the examples are given. You can go through it. You must have remember to identify the same complexes given in the exam. And next comes some of the catalysis cycle mechanisms for different reactions we have seen, like hydrogenation, hydroformylation, which is nothing but alkenes to aldehydes, which are secondary or linear aldehydes, right? Both again. And next one is the Monsanto process. Monsanto is process nothing but converting alcohol to acid, carboic acid. These are all the catalysis cycles given from the each reactions and the reaction mechanism also given. You must have to remember what is happening inside the catalytic cycle. Here the property must be, questions are like the following reaction is like, suppose this to this, which is an oxidative addition. Whether there is a ligand removal, then it can be ready to elimination. Or the first question is identify the which type of reaction and what happening inside the reactions inside the catalytic cycle. One point must be observed that catalyst is regenerated at the end of the cycle. So that's why it is a complete cycle. Catalyst can be used again. And another one is the Wackers process. Just go through all the catalysis cycle and identify the reactions happening in each steps and change of oxidation and coordination number of the metal layer. The questions are direct. What is the cycle for the Wackers process or hydrogenation or hydroformylation? Like this one. And next topic is aromatics. It is a very well-known topic for each and every student. Aromatics for a molecule to be aromatic, there are primarily three conditions. Those are first one is the cyclic. Second one is the planar, like all are sp2, no sp3 in between. Planar molecule. Third one is the completely delocalization. And fourth one is the Huckel's rule. It has a 4n plus 2 pi rule. It accepts. We can say that the molecule is accepting the Huckel's rule. Number of electrons should be in the form of 4n plus 2. Like it can have 2 electrons or 6 or 10, like that only. If the molecule is aromatic, the above all conditions must be satisfied. If the molecule is anti-aromatic, it satisfies only two rules, Huckel's rule and complete conjugation, right? A planar also. It doesn't satisfy Huckel's rule, but satisfies remaining all. If it is non-aromatic, any of the conditions like it's non-planar or not completely conjugated, these two conditions comes under the topic of non-aromatic. For a compound to aromatic, these 4 conditions satisfied. For a molecule of antimatter, except these 4 conditions, remaining all are satisfied. For non-aromatic, any of the above conditions which is satisfied, then it can be certain as aromatic. I gave you some standard examples for aromatic and anti-aromatic compounds. Calculate whether the compound satisfying Huckel's rule and complete conjugation and planarity. The most often exception, this is cyclooctatetraene, which is non-aromatic basically. And some of the azulines are also given their properties like azulene, like aromatic, non-aromatic, also briefly given here. And you must come up often the reactions which happen only the product is aromatic. If the aromaticity of the reactant disturbed, then the reaction cannot happen like this only. In this is at least non-aromatic. By getting into this, it will become anti-aromatic, stability disturbed. So this reaction won't happen. In this, just molecule converted to aromatic. This reaction completely stable and 100% efficient, right? In this reaction also, if we remove 1 electron, then count 6 electrons. Huckel rule satisfied. Complete conjugation, right? All rules satisfied. It is aromatic. So this reaction happens. In this reaction, we're getting an anti-aromatic product. So the reaction doesn't. In the exam, they will ask whether the reaction is possible or not. If possible, how can you say? If possible, there is only one reason. The product is aromatic. If not possible, the aromaticity of the reactant disturbed. These are the two reasons. And then another important topic of Frost circles. Unless understanding this method, just keep in mind Frost circles for the different compounds. First, basic rules are followed. First, a circle is drawn around the compound. Every point ring on the ring represents an orbital level. Let's take 2 butadiene, 1,3 butadiene. Draw a circle around. Touches at 4 points, 4 orbitals, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is the bonding. This one is the antibonding. These are the non-bonding. And number of pi electrons are 4. Fill them in order. First 2, 1, 1. You will get completely filled orbitals. Then we can say it's anti-aromatic. It is completely filled like this. We can say aromatic. By using Frost circles, we can decide whether the compound is anti-aromatic or aromatic. Here, some of the examples for this. We have only 2 electrons. Those are completely filled, aromatic. These are incompletely filled, anti-aromatic. These are completely filled aromatic. By using the Frost circles, we can decide only the aromatic and anti-aromatic behavior of the compounds only. Keep in mind that all the Frost circles are generally asked for the exams are given. You can go through it and understand the process. Next comes to the important topic, chemical shift, which is just a factor which differentiates between the different types of protons. Mainly for our subject, we consider two types of protons. One is inner proton and another one outer proton on an aromatic compound. Here the rule is, if there is more electron density around a proton, it sees a slightly lower magnetic field, less chemical shift. More electron density, less chemical shift. Less electron density, more chemical shift. Chemical shift is inversely proportional to electron density around a proton. Let's take an example and compare. Take the proton here. It is between the two rings. One is this, another one is this. High electron density. Chemical shift will be negative. If you take a proton outside this like this, it has a high chemical shift of 7.6. Inside proton, electron density is surrounded very high, so it has a 0 chemical shift. In exam, they will give some analysis and match the protons. If electron density around a proton is high, then it will have negative chemical shift. If the electron density around a proton is less, it will have a positive chemical shift. By differentiating this, you can assign the values, right? Here are some examples. By doing those examples, you can understand. And next, homoaromaticity, same. In this case, the molecule arranges itself and gives 4 types of proton. One is this at this stage, another one this stage. Firstly, HA lies inside this electron density, so it's negative. HB lies outside the electron density, it's positive. It's this H has completely outside proton, 6.1. Remaining all these protons will have this one has 6.1 less than 8.5 due to nearer to this electron system. By going through this, you can understand the why there is a difference, right? And next comes to the organic chemistry. And the first organic chemistry we are going to this aromatic nucleophilic substitution reaction. You are already learned in your +2 level. Here we discuss the two mechanisms. Aromatic nucleophilic substitution reaction go through the two mechanisms. One is addition elimination mechanism and another one is the elimination addition mechanism. First, in the addition elimination mechanism, in this mechanism, first nucleophile addition of the nucleophile occurs. It forms a carbanion, which is the rate determination. Formation of the product depends on stabilization of the carbanion form. In the elimination addition mechanism, in this mechanism, the first elimination of each are and halogen from the adjacent carbon occurs. This results in formation of a reactive benzene atom. I will go to show. Let's consider addition element. First nucleophile attacks here, that where the carbon substitute as a halogen. By attacking, it rearranges its have a carbon ion, which is the rate determined. It rearranges, and the final one is the carbanion, and this carbanion moves here, and the halogen eliminated. This is the final product. Okay, the intermediate is a carbanion, right? Understand? Yes. This is the mechanism. First, nucleophilic addition occurs, then removal of or elimination of halogen occurs. Intermediate is carbanion. This is the addition elimination mechanism. In the elimination addition mechanism, the first step, elimination of the hydrogen, adjacent and halogen and hydrogens are removed by attaching of a base. Base removes a proton to adjust the charge, and the halogen is removed, and the minus comes here and forms a benzene, which has a benzene intermediate. Now the nucleophilic addition occurs like this shown in the figure. Here the two products formed. How the two products, the chance of two products formed will be shown. This one. Let's consider our intermediate is this one, benzene, with an electron withdrawing group substituent, nucleophilic attacks. If nucleophilic attacks here comes the minus charge, right? If it is electron withdrawing, yes, in the elimination addition mechanism, we got benzene intermediate, which has a substitute as the electron withdrawing group. If nucleophilic attacks here comes the minus charge, right? Then minus charge, if electron withdrawing group attracts electron from ortho only, then this minus stabilizes. So it is the major, right? Or if the substituent is electron donator group, the nucleophilic attacks here and minus comes here. If already minus is there, so less electron flowing at the meta position. If minus comes at the meta ortho position, electron already minus is there. Electrons extra electron not there. That is not major. So minus comes at a meta position. So this is the major product. By looking at the substituent, in the elimination addition mechanism, you should decide the major product. That is very, very important in exam. Major product written, then the marks are given. This is the elimination addition mechanism. And in the addition elimination mechanism, there is also factor of resource selectivity. Resource selectivity comes only when here. Since the addition of a nucleophile is the major step, yes, the nucleophile addition occurs at the position where electron density is. So the halogen present at that nucleophilic attack position must be strongly withdrawing. So the reaction rate will be more in fluorine than bromine, than iodine. Iodine is a weak electron withdrawal. So the rate of the reaction will be in this order. The resource selectivity considered for the addition addition mechanism. And the elimination addition mechanism, the major product decided by the substituents and the attacking of the nucleophile. And next comes the pericyclic reaction. The concentrated reactions involving reorganization of electrons which occur by the way of single cyclic transition. Pericyclic reactions are nothing but breaking of the pi bonds or breaking of the pi bonds and forming the sigma bonds. These are many types, so like electrocyclic reactions, cycloaddition reactions comes under this topic, right? No need of catalyst. Thermal and photochemical conditions are important. Easy formation of CC bonds, including quaternary, chiral center, stereospecific and highly reducible. We will going to talk about the stereospecificity. What are the important factors to which are contributing for the stereospecificity in these types of reactions. These are actually fighter. In our subject, we are going to discuss three types only. One is electrocyclic reaction, cyclooxygen reactions, and sigmatropic rearrangement. Here we go. The one is the electrocyclic reaction, the first one, which is an intramolecular reaction, rearrangement of pi electrons in the acyclic conjugated system to cyclic product. One new sigma bond is formed at the expense of pi bond. A cyclic transition state involves two systems, right? Ring closing, ring opening, retroelectric cyclic reaction. Intramolecular reaction, inside happen inside this pi electrons goes here and this. This pi bond contributes to the sigma bond formed here, and this will form this type of complex. This is called 4-pi system. 4-pi system means 4 pi electrons. This is 6-pi system. In this, these electrons will go here, and these electrons will go here, and this electron. 2 pi bonds will remain same. and one sigma nu sigma n form. It is called 6-pi system. These are called electrocyclic reactions. Here, this is a simple reaction. When the substituents came here, when substitutes came here, the stereospecificity matters. Like forming product, one has an outside substituent, one has an inside substituent. All that things we are going to discuss in the next. I have a simple trick. By going through that trick, you will get to the topic. These are called Woodman-Hoffman rules. It is better to remember the molecular orbital theory of the each pi electron system. 2 pi electrons has 2 orbitals, bonding, anti-bonding. 4 pi electrons has 4 molecular orbitals. 2 bonding, 2 anti, right? 2 bonding, 2 anti-bonding. And 6 pi electron system has 3 bonding, 3 anti-bonding. These are very, very important. These are not subject to the topic. It has a deep meaning, but once asked to draw the orbitals of the exam, it will be useful. These are all the orbital distribution. Here, this table is very, very important. By seeing on the arrows, you will observe 2 terms, right? One is heat, another one is Cahn. Cahn and disk are 2 types of rotation, which are very, very important. These are given in the reaction itself. So I am not discussing this Cahn and disk things. If it is given in the reaction, just to proceed, remember this table. If it is 4n system, right? 4 pi electron system, Cahn rotatory, thermal conditions only allowed, Cahn and thermal will look, and photochemical like H mu and this is allowed. This allowed, this not allowed. Physical conditions not allow this reaction. In case of disrotation, only physical light photochemical conditions will also, I may correct these terms. Photochemical, here it is denoted by H. Photochemical. And in case of 4 pi system, Cahn rotatory thermal conditions allowed. In case of disrotatory, photochemical conditions are allowed. In case of 6 pi or higher, 6 pi is enough. Cahn rotatory allowed only in photochemical conditions. Disrotatory allowed only in thermal conditions. Very, very important. Thermal, Cahn rotatory, 4 pi system. H mu, disrotatory, 4 pi system. 6 pi system, thermal allowed only in disrotatory. Photochemical allowed only in Cahn rotatory. By remembering these conditions, I listed out this trick. This is very, very useful in deciding the stereochemistry of the substance. Here, CH3, which is Z configuration. You may know about the EZ configuration, right? This is E. EZ, disrotatory. What is the substituents are in opposite? What are the substituents? CH3 and H, right? Substituents are CH3, CH3. So here CH3 is near, here CH3 is far. Or one CH3 is near, one CH3 is far. Substituents in opposite. If it is Z configuration, and this is also, sorry, both are E conditions, right? E disrotation. This substituents in the same. Substituents are CH3, CH. Both are near. This is a trick I use to follow. In this case, Here one is the E. Here it is also E. E conrotation. This one. E conrotation substitution different types. Is pH near CD3 4. It is very, very important to remember this trick to assign the stereochemistry. If we do not assign the stereochemistry of the compound, the marks will be deducted. This trick remember, then you can reserve the stereochemistry of the substance on the given 4-pi or 6-pi systems. Ring one is ring opening, another one is ring closing. Examples are clearly provided here. You can go through it. Next one is the cycloaddition reaction. Electrocyclics are intramolecular. Cycloadditions are bimolecular. Addition of 2-pi systems to form cycloproducts is called bimolecular. 2 new sigma bonds are formed in the expense of 2-pi bonds. Backward reaction is referred as retrocycloaddition or cycloreversion. Intramolecular and intramolecular cycloaddition. Classification based on number of atoms. Here also 2 classifications. Here it is 4n plus 2-pi system. It is 4n pi system. As bimolecular, this pi bond electrons will form a sigma bond. This pi will not, and this pi bond migrate here and final product. These types of reactions are all called cycloaddition reactions. Same Woodman-Hofmann rules are for the electrocyclic reaction, which is single molecule case. Here the 2 molecule case. Here also the properties are listed. You can go through it, and the conditions you can, as an antifacially geometrical forbidden, there is only asked always superficial reactions are asked only. There is so here rules are not much important as like in the electrochemical reactions, right? Now comes to the sigmatropic reactions. Sigmatropic reactions are 2 types. One is Claisen rearrangement and Cope rearrangement. Claisen rearrangement, the Claisen rearrangement is most powerful carbon-carbon bond forming chemical reaction. It's basically 3 sigmatropic rearrangement, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There is a sigma bond formed between the numbers 3, 3. These electron migrate here, these electron migrate here, and this bond breaks, the double bond O will be formed. These types of reactions are called Claisen rearrangement. So here when it is provided 3-3 shift and Claisen rearrangement, you can go through the as previous reaction as there is electron double bond form, and that's the final product. And another one is the Cope rearrangement. The Cope rearrangement is the conversion of 1,5 diene to a more stable or a constitutionally isomeric 1,5 diene at very high temperature. Mechanism given here. Yes, this pi bond migrates to here, this sigma bond breaks, and this pi electron goes and form this product. Say in the Claisen rearrangement, the pi electrons migrate to form a new sigma bond and gives a double bond. In the Cope rearrangement, one sigma and bond is broken and one sigma bond is formed. That's called Cope rearrangement. In Cope rearrangement, there is also another type of reaction that is called oxy-Cope, similar to that of Claisen rearrangement, but in Claisen rearrangement there are ethers, but here are the alcohols. Very, very important. There is difference which is very, very important to identify whether it is oxy-Cope or Claisen reaction. Here the simple case, sigma bond breaks. As so sigma bond breaks, we say that it is Cope rearrangement and pi electron migrate here and this pi electron will. And as a vinyl alcohols rearranged to give ketones, that is already known in our +2 organic chemistry. This is called oxy-Cope rearrangement. These are some examples for the Cope rearrangement. If it is the Cope rearrangement, then sigma bond breaks first. If it is Claisen rearrangement, then pi electrons rearrange to give a double bond. It is oxycoke, alcohols converted into ketones. These tricks are enough to identify whether it's glycine, coke, or oxycopene. Examples are provided. You can go through it and complete it. I deeply acknowledge all my CY 101 of course professors for lecture slides, and for their guidance. Thank you, one and all. This is the end of the course. Thank you.